Welcome back to the Fallen Giants podcast. Back with another preview and the dynamic duo back in the building because everyone else's schedule is too busy to come on here. How you doing, Nick?
You think that's really a shock to us now? It's not really a shock anymore, is it? Let's be honest as well. Like we're lucky to get two of us on at a time, to be honest. So yeah, go and send hate to the other two if you want to.
Yeah, we had to hold it down. Obviously, we're the ones that started it anyway, and it was based off Manchester United and Arsenal being the Fallen Giants. So what better way for us to hold down the previews?
As it says in the title, it's the final Premier League preview before all eyes are on Qatar. Then
one more. Arsenal have one more to get through to stay top for the league before the World Cup.
England squad just got announced as we went live. So we'll get into that as we preview the World Cup as well. There's going to be a lot to talk about. So
yeah, plenty to talk about. Hopefully, the content will just come flying at you in terms of
it will. Not even a hopefully, it will.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah,
and then likewise when they get tournament actually starts, streams and that.
Yeah. Twitch will be mad.
But for the last time, we have last time until the break, we have a Premier League preview.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's sad. It's sad to a certain point, but at the same time, like I've still got excitement for the World Cup. So
yeah,
it's a little break in between. All right. Well, I guess we'll start with Arsenal. They're traveling to Wolves.
Yep, 7:45 on Saturday because we'll get onto it. But there's two evening kickoffs.
Yeah.
Wolves away, which on the balance of things, you're looking at Arsenal top of the league and Wolves quite far down the league. But
where are they? 18th, I think, or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
but
in the relegation zone,
they're in the midst of changing their manager.
Well, they've appointed Lopetegui.
Yeah, is this his first game or
no? He's not gonna take over till the 14th, so it'll be on the Monday.
Right. Okay.
So Arsenal got away with that one, that new manager kind of thing as well. Yeah, I think it's one of them. If he was in charge, you'd be looking at the game a bit differently, like I experienced with Emery last week with the Villa game. But now it's their last game under the. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know who's in charge. He was obviously their assistant that took over. I'm not even sure of his name. Who took over? I'm not even sure who it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah. So let's be honest. You're expecting like Wolves away at the start of the season. You'd be that one of the games you'd be thinking, shit, that's gonna be a tough game to get through.
Yeah. Now, that's one that Arsenal typically would have had in their head.
Oh yeah. Circumstantial reasons, it's probably one of the easiest games you could ask for at the minute as well. So you're going there to expect 3 points. To be honest, there's just no other way about it. Really, there's no other way of looking at it.
Yeah, we have to really. I do feel that there's not really much of a team talk in the sense that you tell the team you'll be top for the World Cup break, like going to Christmas now, basically. So what else more is there to say from a team talk point of view?
Yeah, because I feel like from a Wolves perspective, are they not going to have one eye on their managers coming in literally the following Monday after the weekend? Like, it's like, I'm not saying they're not, obviously, as professionals, they're going to try and give you a game, but they're going to think, okay, I guess the only way I can look at it for Wolves, maybe they can try some early impressions for the new manager, I guess.
Yeah,
as well.
you want to get in the manager's head.
Like players like weren't quite in the setup, like a Dama will eat, you never know. At the end of the day, manager or not, they've got threats. There's still some threats to look at as well. They won yesterday against Leeds in the League Cup as well. So you never know. We'll see. But yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm expecting quite a dull game, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think Arsenal might narrowly win this if they do win it?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what my actual prediction is, but I don't know if I see us just going and wiping the floor with them.
Do you remember last year, Chaz? Me, you, and Ollie was watching it at the pub, Wolves away, and it was I think it was a 1-0. It was as well. Do you remember? I think Martinelli got sent off in that game as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he did.
And it was a very shit game of football. Was it? Again, I do feel like with Wolves, it's not the most entertaining. I mean, they did have a 3-2 thriller against Brighton last week, but in general, Wolves are a very dull team to watch.
Yeah, I think it might go down that sort of route.
But you don't think you'll take
I might still edge. Yeah, I think I'll still edge an Arsenal win because I just feel like as a team, they know get 3 points and you're top. Like I can't work out why we did as much as we went out of against Brighton yesterday in the EFL Cup.
Brighton are a good team though. Right.
Yeah, and we had they came on, but I didn't see Jesus in the starting lineup. I didn't see these certain players, so we will have some fresher players. Obviously, one eye potentially on the World Cup, but I think we'll edge this one.
Yeah, I think you say one eye on the World Cup, but it's different. It's different when you're up at the top of the league and you're fighting for something at the minute. It's different. That all eyes will be focused. Arteta will make sure all eyes are focused on this fixture, then the World Cup after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, from a Wolves point, as I said, it's not really much to say. You need to just wait for Lopetegui to come in and implement these ways at Wolves. Are you would you just go full strength lineup here? Yeah, like you did against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So no rotations, no little changes here and there, nothing like that.
No, I think I'd go full strength again.
Are you worried about any Wolves players being threats?
I mean, Adama's always quite a threat down that side. I mean,
he gives you a game. He's an athlete, isn't he? So he's always, someone like he has the potential to rip anyone apart on his day. To be honest, I've seen him rip us apart a lot of times. So,
and saying that, I've also seen Neto play very well. Obviously, Arsenal were linked with him. So
he's injured though.
Oh, is he injured? He's out.
He's been injured for the last few weeks now. He's out till the new year now as well. So he's been out.
Are they still obviously? Is Costa still about?
No, Costa's suspended for this game because he got sent off, didn't he, against Brentford? So
they're really lacking attacking threat. They've got decent midfielders.
Well, they signed the Austrian geezer. Obviously, he got injured early, on his first game. So it's a bit. They've had an unlucky season. Is Jimenez even back? Is Raul Jimenez even available? Because if he's not available, they ain't got number 9 available for this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they've got available.
Jimenez. Wolves have a lot of them players that I rate, but they just need to come together as a team. Like I like Daniel Podence, players like that. I think they may, if they don't have a number 9 Chaz, they could be looking at playing Gonzalo Guedes up front.
Yeah.
Because
Hwang might be in there potentially.
Yeah, Hwang. I like all these players I'm mentioning. I'm a fan of a lot of them, to be fair, as well. So they all have their threats. I think Hwang, you lot beat Wolves last year, but Hwang scored at the Emirates, didn't he? He scored the first goal anyway, as well.
I feel like they are just in a bit of a rut, really. They need this new manager, and that's why you say it might be a good time for Arsenal to just get this one out of the way.
Well, it says only here, Kalatic, obviously the main injury, Neto, and Matthias Nunes is a doubt with a shoulder injury.
Okay.
So it looks like they will have Jimenez available, at least for this game. And yeah, you're right, actually. I don't think it is going to be a foregone conclusion, this game. I don't think it's going to be like a battering.
No, I mean, they got a confidence booster. They won in the EFL Cup.
Yeah, every win matters for them at the minute. As on
yeah, I just think they're going to be quite set up, quite astute. They're going to be fairly difficult for us to break down. Again, with Arsenal,
they don't score goals, mate. They've scored, I think they scored 8 or 9 goals all season. That's
the problem.
I think they scored the least in the league, the least goals this season.
And if it's 8 and 9, they got 2 last week, so 6 before that.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, this is. I would love to know how many from open play as well, because I'm pretty sure Neves has scored a few penalties in there as well. So they really, really, really struggle to get goals at the minute as well. So you can't be expecting to concede more than one. More than one is almost a tragedy. Start conceding 2 against Wolves as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you said, we didn't really give Arsenal a lot of airtime on the review for the Chelsea game. You're flying high. Everything's perfect, to be honest, at the minute. It is perfect. There's not an Arsenal fan out there that can really complain right now. I'm sorry, there just isn't. And your mentality's changed because the way you're going into games expecting wins now in games that at the start of the season you would have been expecting them wins.
Yeah.
Easily. So it's a complete culture change, a mentality shift. And yeah, you just got to go and get the job done. And then after the World Cup, that's when, you know, the pressure might build. As you go further down the season, the pressure is going to build and build and build as you get closer to a title. But yeah, mate, as well, as long as Arsenal we kind of know Arsenal's identity now. As long as they play their game, you expect them to get the result.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like when we used to talk about like City, just every preview you say they're getting 3 points.
Yeah,
you know, starting to become that Arsenal would expect 3 points in a lot of these games.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
as you said, we can't say any negatives really.
It's hard with Arsenal. We've covered them so much this season, made a lot of bold statements. It will happen throughout the season. Things will change and stuff like that. People know my views. People know your views on it, on where Arsenal, I think they're going to go to the end. You think they may hit the 30-game mark until they prove you wrong, potentially. I think they're performing out their skin, and Arteta, like the trajectory they're going on, as I said, I feel like they are potentially taking Liverpool's spot as City's challengers, maybe for the next few years. Maybe that's being a bit. People may think I'm a bit knee-jerk a little bit, but that's just the vision I see. I'm predicting that because I can see signs, and I can't see why people can argue with me about the signs of just everything. Everything's moving in the right direction for Arsenal. So it's hard to think otherwise, unless completely.
You know what I do like a little bit is you see how everything at the start of the season, everyone's like, "Oh, this is not going to continue," or "Wow, Arsenal's still winning. They're still winning." Now it's got to that stage. I know we're going to have a large break. It almost feels like we're just ticking over, but we're still top of the league.
I think it shouldn't. People need to stop. It's hard to adjust to it because the last 20 years, Arsenal haven't been taken seriously, really. People always see the slip up. There's been a banter club for a while now, and cycles change in football. I repeat myself a lot here, but I just think people need to eventually adjust to the idea that Arsenal are the real deal. Hence why we put that as our title on the last review. Like, people need to adjust their mentality. I think it's hard for rival fans and Arsenal fans to accept it at the minute. They think it's too early to start. You're even in that kind of category.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. Until
you don't want to commit to saying you're a top level team. You want to see silverware and evidence for this as well.
Yeah.
Because
I've been hurt in the past, unfortunately.
Yeah, because at the minute, as you said, you can only go game by game, but you haven't won anything substantial yet as well, or anything. So we've got to wait and see. But I believe in the process, even though I don't want to believe in it. I just see why Arsenal fans believe in the process, and it's there to be seen.
Yeah.
I think you've been the best team in the league this season. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously proven if you finish top by the World Cup. I think you've just been the best team so far in the league. I don't think that's a controversial.
Well, it's weird to say it, but it will be top by Christmas because we go over Christmas Day, right?
But will you admit you've been currently the best team in the league? You would say, so far.
Yeah.
I know points suggest-wise, but I think you potentially even played a bit better than City at times as well.
Yeah. So, in terms of actual passing moves and that,
it's not. We're not saying you're not saying that you'll stay like that, but it is what it is. We may as well get prediction underway then for this game. I think I'm going to go along with you, and I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. Yeah,
I'm going to go. It was either 2-1 or 1-0. I think I'll go with them just getting a goal. I feel like Neves might pop up with one, whether it's a pen or shot or something. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. Narrow win. Right, I do think even 2-0, I know that's effectively comfortable, but I still think it'd be quite a dull game.
Yeah. All right, wicked. You may as well move on to, it will be the last game of the whole Premier League weekend before we move on to Qatar. It's United travelling to Craven Cottage.
Yep, 4:30 on Sunday.
Obviously, we've got I said this is a must win. We've got to bounce back and win this now as well. Like, we took our L against Villa. It's all about response now. It is as well. We can't make that back-to-back losses away from home against two mid-table sides. Basically, we can't do that. I don't care if we're in a process and a project and that. We need to make sure we just get some points on the board, like I said. make sure this last game before the World Cup, just get the win. I don't care how it is. I told you my standards at the minute of football. I don't really care. Just get the win, no matter how. To be honest, I don't really care about if we play pretty football or not. I think Fulham are going to make it hard. I think they're going to make it. It's a small. We all know Craven Cottage is a very, very small pitch. It's going to be 4:30. It's going to be dark at that time. All eyes will be on that fixture because people know that is the last Premier League game we're going to be seeing till after Christmas.
Yeah.
The pressure is going to be on. The crowd are going to be up for it. It's going to be a hostile. We never associate Fulham as a hostile. You always see them as quite a nice little club as well. But they will make it a big game. And I think we've got to give credit to Marco Silva. Really, really good job he's done so far with them.
I mean, for them to be, obviously, things will change if they lose this game in terms of position. But for them, I don't think they can go further down than 11th. So to be within the top 10 by Christmas.
Mate, they bite your hand off at the start of the season for that. Yeah. So you've got to give credit to Marco Silva. Really, as exceeded all of the FallenGiantz.
I thought they'd be in the relegation pretty much around it.
I don't actually see them getting relegated. I'm that confident. That's how much they've changed my mind now. Like I don't see how they're going to get relegated unless they went for a really barren spell. But
they made a lot of signings as well. I know Forest took it out of the control and went over the top, but like Fulham made quite a lot of signings in there as well. There was a fair few change.
And Marco Silva's got them gelled, though, innit? He's managed to get a team together. You know, they're starting 11 every week now. And even the likes of Andreas, who will be up against us for the first time when he's not a United player, I'm not his biggest fan by any stretch of the imagination. I think he was horrendous for United, to be honest. But he's even getting something out of Pereira. He's getting he's got decent numbers, hasn't he, this season as well? Like, people are putting him in their fantasy. I see a lot of people have Pereira because he's cheap and he gets decent amount of points. So if he can get you have to give all credit to Silva. We all know the main threat is Mitrovic. That's that's the most obvious thing in the world. Is he available for this? Because I know he was out the City game. It was Vinicius they played up front, isn't it?
I was just looking at it to try and get ahead. It doesn't actually say on the preview whether he's in.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. I don't know. You know for a fact I'm begging he's out. You know if he's out, that changes the dynamics of my prediction completely. Are you having a little look?
Yeah, I'm just going to type it in quickly on the injury.
And do you know what I'm thinking, though, Chaz? Remember, he's in the World Cup squad for Serbia. Does he not want to risk it? I'm thinking, is he not going to want to risk it as well? Because if he's not fully fit, you know what these players are like at the minute.
Says on the 5th of November, as you know, Mitro had a problem in the last game. So we're managing it, trying to recover after last game. He's not in a condition to be with us. It still says he's currently being assessed, but there's no return date. So he might be out.
I feel like I'm going to assume he's out unless they shock us. Because if he wants to be fit for the World Cup, is he really going to want to risk that coming back? And what if he sustains that injury and he's actually out at that point?
I agree. I think he might miss this one, or at worst, potentially be flung on the bench.
You know that was my biggest fear. Hence why I said I wanted Maguire starting this game so he could literally man-mark Mitrovic.
Bobby Reed's back for this game.
You laugh. He's not a bad player, actually. He's not even too bad. Like, they've all listen. I'm worried about Willian. I always forget they have Willian in their team, and he's not been that bad, has he?
He's done more. Probably done more for them than he did at Arsenal.
Could be, yeah.
But even Vinicius, he's not. I know compared to Mitrovic, there's a bit of a level there, but that's
still a target man, though.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Physicality and that up front,
And you've been impressed with João Paulinho? He's been a good signing for them as well.
He's sort of steadied the midfield.
He's class. He's someone I wanted at United, to be honest, as well. Not let alone Fulham. Because you had a bit of your reservation because you saw the likes of Tim Ream still playing centre back, Adebayo next to him. But they formed they've been okay. I feel like Fulham one of the teams that they've settled down quick, haven't they, as well with the team?
Yeah.
Like you may not rate their individuals at the highest level. You know, even Harrison Reed's been good this season in midfield.
Yeah, no. Reed's, to be fair, Reed's shocked me because I thought he was going to be the typical championship level sort of midfield.
I remember Do you remember years ago when Reed was at Southampton when he came through the youth and that? I was like, he's a decent little player. Like, he looked decent as well. And I never thought he'd quite make it at Premier League level, to be fair, as well. But he's been good. And they just seem to be ticking along. I've got to give full credit to Fulham. Yeah, I've got to. Who did they play fullbacks then? What are they for? Oh, Robinson. You're a fan of Robinson.
Yeah, I like Robinson. And they play, is it Tete?
Yeah. Was that a bit peak on Robinson last week, the De Bruyne penalty?
Yeah. That's a bit of a light one. Yeah. Well, I think, and you don't obviously love to see it from players, and certain players will get a stick over it. I think De Bruyne knew where he was on the pitch, and not necessarily full simulation, but he knew a little bit of contact. He can make this look like a penalty.
So I'm glad I brought that up actually, because let's be honest, they nearly nicked the result at the Etihad last week. Not this is not. And remember against Arsenal, did you win 2-1 against them at the?
Yeah. Remember we had to go.
This is not a team that get battered. This is not a team that will get battered in games.
No.
They make sure they're in there to the very end. I think they may have lost to Spurs 2-1 as well, and they nearly
got good. I mean, Liverpool. I know it's first game of the season, but
let's be real. This isn't going to be an easy game. This won't be an easy one. I don't think. On United's flip side, on United's point of view, as I said, we need to respond. Has to be a win. Ten Hag will know that as well straight away. Just about little previews on the lineups. Maguire has to start. He has to start this game, regardless if it's Vinicius or Mitrovic. We need physicality. Last week, Chaz? I don't know if you saw the highlights. Lindelof got exposed from a lot of them goals, and that was Ollie Watkins. Yeah, and he's not even the most physical player.
Ramsey goal, he's backing off.
That Ramsey goal would look like the easiest goal I've seen this season. Like, it looked too easy to be true. That did as well. I was like, how on earth? Why are you backing off? And then he just walked in on it and put it in the top corner. I was just thinking, that is fucking tragic. Maguire has to start. I never thought in a million years I'd be saying that as a United fan, but Maguire has to start. There's no other way about it. There's no other way of looking about it. And Southgate probably want him to start to get some match fitness in anyway.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Anyone else? Dallo, if I'm not mistaken, I think Dallo might be suspended. You know, if you get a certain amount of yellows, does it count in the League Cup as a suspension, or does it go into the Prem, onto the Prem game?
I think it counts. It says here he's suspended,
for the game.
Yeah, on the
League Cup. I swear, when I was growing up, League Cup always counted as one of yours. And then you move on.
So did I, to be fair. But it says suspended, 5 yellow cards. Return date 27th of December.
Chaz, we've got another. Chaz, look at the comments again.
Oh, God.
We've got it again. This is becoming a running joke.
I haven't blocked the user.
Do you know what? That's a different account as well. We are somehow attracting sex robots in this. I don't know how these little robots are finding our fucking stream, but we're attracting. Yeah, I don't even know. You're gonna have to block one every single live stream at this rate.
Yeah.
You know,
it always sends 3 comments as well.
3 comments. It feels like it's. I don't even know. It's just all automated. I might have a little look at it after that. No, but yeah, I think you were already saying to me before we went live that players like Anthony and that might not be available just because they're worried about the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, that's only a little rumor here and there, but it says here late fitness test for tonight.
But he had a late fitness test last week, so it's been like that for a while.
I mean, his one says 50%, Anthony. But this is talking about tonight, though. It says the return date tonight, Anthony and Jadon Sancho. Sancho is 75%.
He should be available tonight.
He should be available.
So, yeah, I was just going to say, how do you think United can get over the line in this game? Eventually, I think do you think we'll dominate the ball?
Yes, yeah.
All right, because against Villa, we were Villa caught us cold at the start, and we were struggling to get hold of the ball. And then
the only thing I would say, and that's very right, what you're about to say about Villa, I do think that Fulham may look to copy their sort of not necessarily the way they set up, but it felt like energy getting around you early on. Like the start was difficult for you guys. Obviously, they took their chances, which makes a huge difference.
I think my main hope is that Ten Hag, I'm assuming he would have said to them, don't let that happen again. He's going to drill into them like they are. Ten Hag should be saying what we're saying on the stream now and be like, yeah, they're going to try exactly what Villa tried. We've got to make sure we calm the atmosphere down, take the sting out the game early on. You know, kind of similar to the way, you see the way we approached Everton. I thought we played quite well in that game. We did concede the first goal very early on, but the way we got our foot back on the ball after that and patiently created chances, we need to take a leaf out of that book, I feel like.
Yeah. I think you should play either Fred or McTominay with Casemiro. In my opinion.
Great point. I think he needs to learn. Don't go because Bruno's back for this, yeah. So don't do Bruno and Eriksen. If he has anything about him, just get a bit of physicality in there. Get as you said, Fred or McTominay next to Casemiro, and just I feel like we'd be a lot more safe and solid. But you just know what I'm saying. There'll be a lot more cover for the defense. Eriksen is one of them that the deeper he's playing, the unfortunate thing about Eriksen, he's so lightweight. It's so easy to bypass him.
We
watched it against Villa, against City, a lot of games where it's very easy to bypass Eriksen. He has no defensive awareness in him because he's new to this role, this deep-lying role. So you need tried and trusted in there. So you're right. I'm expecting him to play one of McFred next to Casemiro. And
one of them and Maguire, like you said at the back.
I'll be expecting him to drop Eriksen in this one. I expect Bruno to come straight back in, to be honest.
Yeah, so do I.
Unfortunately, we're dealt with what we're dealt with in attack. The only worry, so Martial, look, fucking fingers crossed he's back. He came on against Villa, innit, for the last 20 minutes. He should get a run out tonight in that game. I'm expecting him to start, to be honest, tonight. And if he's fit enough, surely he's straight in the team. If he is the last game for the Martial's not going to the World Cup as well, remember?
Yeah, you'd think there's no reason not to.
He's got to come in. And if Anthony is available, fling him in as well. We need to make sure we get Rashford back on the left where he's been operating at his best. Drop Ronaldo, get Anthony and get Mark. Just get these players in ASAP. That's what I'm going to say. Really. And
if Martial starts, you look at that team and it's such a different light. You really do.
There was a goal. I know it's a throwback. Only I remember these weird stuff. It was like 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. As a goal, I remember I was on the way back from holiday. We beat Fulham like 3-0 at their ground. This was do you remember Ollie's great first run when he came in? It was about 3 years ago, something, when he won like 7 in a row in the league or 14 in the cup. We were winning every game possible. We went away to Craven Cottage. Martial scored one of the best goals I've seen post Fergie, at least. Ran from the halfway line, just ran past 3 or 4 players and put it bottom corner. That's one of I remember Pogba scored that game as well. Like, yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, we've got to go. It's Craven Cottage at the end of the day. We've got to go and fucking stamp our authority on this. I know I'm being a bit like nostalgic right now, but it's just one of them that was the Tony I fell in love with, mate. That was just everything I loved.
Well, you might get him back next year.
No, but unfortunately with him, he don't have the pace anymore because he's lost it because of injuries. He completely lost that turn of pace that he once had and that acceleration.
Yeah, but I mean, you just look at it, the way he links up with Rashford.
Mate, let's be honest. I know I wax lyrical about him every single opportunity I get. What he does to Sancho, Rashford, and Anthony, the difference he makes to everyone around him in that front line. Even Bruno. Him and Bruno have a great link up. Martial's the glue. You see the way we talk about Jesus at Arsenal? He is our Jesus. He is literally it. He may not be as industrial and hardworking as Jesus, like quite as pressing, but my word, him on that ball, you can't get that ball off him. It's so hard to get it off him.
Yeah.
It's so important that we sign someone in January, and apparently I've seen the rumours that we're not looking to spend still in January. So that is typical of United in the past 10 years. That is to not capitalise.
So does it change your prediction slightly if Ronaldo's starting up front?
It's funny. Either ends of the pitch. Mitrovic starting and Ronaldo starting. That makes a big difference to my predictions.
Yeah.
I think
maybe Lindelof as well.
We can't play Garnacho again. I feel sorry we can't keep playing. I know we're down to bare bones, but my word, at least play a Langa or get Bruno on the right or something like that as well. Like, because you can't throw him in the deep end like that. I don't feel like he needs to be easily transitioned into the team.
Or do you expect Garnacho to play tonight?
Yes, I do, and I'm happy with him playing tonight. I'm fine with that.
Then
this
leave
is the
him
type
for
of
the
games you play him in. But yeah, so we may as well get our predictions out of the way then. Oh God, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go 2-1 United. I'm gonna go positive as well.
That's the exact same prediction. Maybe I should change just for that. You want me not to say United?
Yeah. I'd rather you not. You jinx us. So
yeah. Go on then. 1-1.
1-1. I just get over the line, mate.
Not the most exciting. Well, I don't know. I think this might be a bit more.
Even it will be. I think it will be. There will be lots of chances in this one.
I think there'll be quite a few chances. I agree.
All right, and then finally a little bonus preview we're going to have. We've got Chelsea travelling to Newcastle, and that.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on this. I'm excited to watch this.
I'm gassed. Well, I'm buzzing. Oh, people need to realise it was your birthday 2 days ago. So happy late birthday on the channel. And we're going out to celebrate on Saturday, this Saturday. So we're going to be watching a lot of football that day, and the two games.
Because obviously we can't go. You know, we're going out for my birthday, but we've got to tie in both games, 5:30 and 7:45.
Yeah, for sure. If it wasn't your birthday, we'd be live streaming these 100%. To be honest. And Chelsea at the 5:30 kickoff going to Tyneside, mate. That is going to be. I already said it in the description. It's a cauldron, mate. At the minute going there, like that is going to be. You couldn't have two teams further away on the spectrum of each other right now in terms of confidence and form.
Yeah.
Like, arguably, Chaz, going away to Newcastle is the hardest game in the league at the minute. Like, you could genuinely argue it's up there with Arsenal and City. Like, it's that hard to go there.
Yeah, to be fair, you said Arsenal played the best football, and they probably have. But in terms of most in form, it's probably Newcastle.
What were we saying, Chaz? I put it on Twitter. They scored 4s, 5s, 3s each game. They're scoring for fun. I mean, we all know about Miggy Almiron. He should be getting Player of the Month. He should be getting Player of the Month now in the Prem. It's not just him. He's just how many? We're both Eddie Howe lovers. He's just done. He's worked absolute miracles with that team. Absolutely, what a job!
It's getting better as well. They're at the start.
Yeah. Currently on course, definitely getting manager of the season at the minute. He's currently on course for as well. And what he's doing for that, I mean, they got through yesterday on penalties. No, was it penalties? Yeah, it was penalties.
Yeah, penalties.
Who did they play? Palace.
Yeah.
So I just think when you said it, you've made videos on your channel. We've done it on this channel. We're probably going to make another one at some point on Newcastle. Special things are happening, mate. Everything's hunky-dory on Tyneside, mate. They're buzzing. I'm happy for them because they went through a lot with Mike Ashley, potentially the worst donor in Premier League history, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, think about the difference from Mike Ashley to these Saudi owners. Like, you couldn't have had a different. Everything is flipped in it on Tyneside. Everything is flipped for Newcastle.
Yeah.
They've got. Surely they're the most optimistic fans in the league.
Oh yeah, you'd be so excited.
They've got the money that they've not spent. Nearly any penny of that at the minute. I know they spent it a lot on some individual players like Isaac and Botman, but Isaac's barely played for them, let's be honest as well. So they've got the backing, the owners that are going in the right direction. They've got a top-class manager. And the great thing about it for the Geordies, is he's getting the best out of these average players, championship-level players at some point at the minute. How exciting is that? That if he can do it with them, what is he going to do with these, world beaters that they're going to bring in eventually?
There's still the likes of, Willock and players like that.
Longstaff,
probably worse.
Jacob Murphy. Jacob bloody Murphy. Even, let's be honest, like
some of the centre-halves.
Fabian Shaw, I don't mind him. He's been good. Even Dan Burn, I rate him again, but he's not at a top level, but he's performing top level at the minute. Joe Linton, they're going to improve on him in the future at some point. But he's just got a tune out of all of them. And obviously, no one better than Miggy Almiron. He's obviously the kind of what's the word, like the symbolic example of what Newcastle are about. Do you not feel like in a player he is energetic, goals, everything, just high tempo? He kind of is an indictment of what Howe's done at that club at the minute.
Yeah, and we said this the other day, and because I love the movie so much, the Santiago Munez for
he is
Newcastle,
Santiago Munez.
and funny enough,
Yeah.
in the movie, he scores a free kick at the end to get them in the Champions League.
That's so funny.
Imagine,
I love,
imagine.
mate. This is why we
And
love.
if they win this weekend,
Yeah,
they'll be sitting playing 15 games. They will be sitting on 30 points in third
yeah.
place.
So when we were talking about how Arsenal are going to be Christmas, they're going to be top.
Yeah,
Newcastle are going to be top 4 potentially at Christmas. So we've got to take that serious. As serious as we're taking Arsenal, I'm taking Arsenal as a title challenger. I nearly have to take it as seriously as Newcastle being a top 4 contender.
top 4 challenge.
Yeah. But Mickey Almiron, people were saying Almiron was also that kid from In Betweeners movie. The little
I've seen that as well. Yeah.
Big Almiron is like the cult hero of the Premier League right now. He is, and that's all thanks to Jack Grealish. so literally, this guy. This is why I love stories in football. I love these kind of stories, and it's just the best story so far this season. And yeah, just to wrap up on Newcastle, Eddie Howe took them over this time last year. It may have actually been on this exact day, potentially. It was early November or mid-November. Yeah. They were 19th in the league, as you said, winless in 14 games.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Shot of confidence, everything. And I do remember, even his first few games, they were still getting back. I think he got battered by City. They went to the Emirates. He didn't start off great. But then there was little turning points. I remember I tweeted this out in September or maybe August this year. I think it was August. They played a game. It was an important game against Everton. It was a midweek game, relegation kind of battle game. Both of them in the relegation zone. These massive clubs, and they battered Everton like left, right, and centre. They absolutely destroyed them from start to finish. And that was for me. That was the turning point for them, where I saw the crowd were on their side. Everything was like, do you know what I'm trying to say? That where you identify these games, and they have never looked back since. And to have them in third place from 19th at this point last year is it's modern day miracles, mate. And then on the flip side, we've got Chelsea.
And the
great thing about this, these are two of England's finest produced managers up against each other.
Oh yeah, I rate both of them so high.
Like this is everything for me. Isn't this this is the game of the weekend? This is one of them hipster games that you love to watch. We'll see a tactical battles between two great young English managers.
Yeah.
Obviously, as I said, Chelsea are on the polar opposite end of the spectrum in terms of form and confidence. They're on a really bad run. They're on a rut. They're in a real rut. And it's down to Graham Potter to just try and find ways to get them out of this before he can implement his actual identity and philosophies. Similar to Ten Hag. He needs to find ways to get results now. Because football is a cruel game, isn't it? Football is a very cruel game. And if he loses this and then doesn't start well after the World Cup, he'll be under pressure straight away. So, what do you think?
I do feel slightly that, I mean, obviously we're going to predict in a bit, but it could be one that they just obviously don't want to get battered or you don't want it to look embarrassing, but it could be one that if they did lose, it can be pushed under because they've got the international break.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think that helps him a little bit in the sense of if it does. I'm not, you might say that Chelsea, you think Chelsea are going to win, but I'm just saying that if they did lose this, I feel like it's very beneficial to a lot of clubs, this break, but at the same time, Chelsea may need this just to settle things down a little bit. And
we kind of addressed Chelsea in our review with Michael on Monday. They just lost yesterday. They weren't actually too bad, to be honest, yesterday. Is there just a lot to do? Is there a lot to unpack for Chelsea at the minute? Is there just a lot to get through settled systems and teams and things like that?
I think you said it. You said it about their transfer activity. I think they've almost put themselves in this situation. Like, Aubameyang, and I know that the Aubameyang didn't even make sense with Tuchel anyway, and then that sort of situation, and just get messy players all over the shop.
I was saying to you, Chaz, even when, do you remember everyone was a bit like Potter actually started decent and he won like 5 or 6 in a row.
Yeah.
We saw cracks away at Villa, the way Kepa had to keep them in it. when they drew, did they draw 0-0 against Brentford in midweek, and they could have easily lost that.
Oh, yeah,
There was early signs, that I thought like not everything was all hunky dory that everyone was making out, and I think obviously when they played my team, we dominated them for one half as well. And then obviously when you come up against a great team like Arsenal, well, they got battered by his old club Brighton as well. And when you're coming against a team that's well oiled and perfectly set up like Arsenal are, they got exposed at how far off they are. That was a really good indicator to how far off they are from challenging or just being any kind of elite team at the minute, to be honest.
What's your actual thoughts? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit worried for them. As much as I love Potter, I don't know.
Wait, you talking about this game, or are you talking?
Yeah, no, this game.
Okay.
I don't know if they're coming up against a complete wrong team right now.
It's going to contradict everything I say, but I think I might edge towards a draw. In this game, I might think
they need to find it somewhere. It's possible, but I just.
But yeah, I guess to round out with Chelsea, you look at the difference of like both managers we rate equally as high as each other, I guess. I'm a little bit more edged towards Eddie Howe, but it's one of them that
they've actually got a very good record in Newcastle.
What?
Well, last 2 games at Newcastle, Chelsea have won 3-0 and 2-0.
Yeah, but that's taking into account, were they both Steve Bruce teams?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's a different kind of Newcastle, that is. I think
it
was one of them, Eddie Howe.
Is that Graham Jones? Is that just before Eddie Howe?
That was the caretaker. Yeah, that was the caretaker. But actually, you say that though, Chaz. But if you look before that, I swear they've got a shoddy record at St James's. A lot of Chelsea fans were saying to me that that's one of their
probably down. I mean, that's only what did I just say?
They said it's one of their worst stadiums to go to. Like they have a crap record at St James's. Obviously, not always 2 seasons. Or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know if it's crap. Newcastle have won a few times, but off the back of, I think that's a 10-year display, it looks fairly even to me.
Yeah. But I agree with you. This ain't the time to be playing Newcastle. Like this is.
Yeah, that's. I just fear that this might be the one that.
You think there could be a battering on the horizon? Again, like January, like.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Even if the score
3-1 the battering.
That is quite a comprehensive score.
I think Newcastle have loads of chances. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you know what? You actually could be right because we saw Newcastle versus City. You remember the 3-3 earlier on in the season, yeah? Mate, Newcastle. I know City could have had a load, but that's just City. Newcastle could have had about 6 or 7 in that game as well.
Yeah. I don't feel that Chelsea. They could be in the future, but they don't have what City did that day.
Do you think it's going to be dark St James's last game before the World Cup? You know what? That's probably, for me, it's the best atmosphere in the league at the minute at St James's, to be honest. Like, it is going to be intimidating, in it. It's going to be a fucking cauldron in there.
Yeah.
It is. You're right. I think Chelsea luckily get a draw in this. I think they get out of this with a draw, I feel like. And I'm going to go... Jack commented on the thing. So Jack went 2-1 Newcastle. I'm going to go 1-1. No, 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay, 2-2, and I'm going 3-1 Newcastle.
Oh, shit. You've got them fucking Rent boys triggered.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be a few Chelsea fans on Saturday, so we'll be giving it.
God. Don't get me wrong. I'd love a Newcastle win. That would be so good, honestly. I don't care if they're a threat to us at the minute. I don't give a fuck. I want that bandwagon to carry on going for the minute.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. So, yeah, that's all our predictions done. May as well wrap it up now. We're hitting the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget the notification bell for when we next upload. This is officially our last preview before the World Cup.
Yeah, we'll see you for the last review on Monday, innit?
Yeah, last review, and then all that content will be coming. Thanks for watching, and peace.